When you become a convicted felon and you leave prison and try to come back into society, you are faced with 45,000 different collateral consequences.
I need y'all to call me a YM, and that stands for young man.
Before we dive in, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You don't want to miss this one. Most people think once you're done with your time in the county or the prison system, that's it. It's all over. But to be honest, it's just the beginning. In America, there are about 45,000 penalties that kick in after conviction and after release from prison. Things most people never think about. Watch this, then we'll talk about it in the end.
When you become a convicted felon and you leave prison and try to come back into society, you are faced with 45,000 different collateral consequences. Silver mortis, I talk about it all the time, man. Silver mortis is when you become a convicted felon and you get stripped of all your civil rights. So in the eyes of the law, you can't compete. You're a dead man. They consider you a dead man by law because you have a felony and you out of the race, okay? Now, civil mortis is the loss of all and almost all civil rights by a person due to a conviction for a felony or due to an act by the government of the country that results in the loss of civil rights. Now, look what the first thing it said. Civil death. You are a dead man in the eyes of the law because you cannot compete anymore by being a convicted felon in the United States. And it's 45,000 different collateral consequences.
The ABA has made public and accessible some 45,000 penalties, sanctions, and restrictions that are distinct, as we just heard.
One of the barriers is collateral consequences. That is, they come out of jail or prison, they try to get a job, and they either find that they're barred by law or regulation from pursuing an occupation, or that even if they're not, employers won't hire them.
The long-term, sometimes lifetime impact of a criminal record is going to keep many people from obtaining employment, accessing housing, higher education, loans, and credit, even if they've paid their dues, to reduce the broad set of collateral consequences, which keeps 1 in every 13 African American adults from voting.
Very good, compassionate judges, and they think about collateral consequences. The problem is that they don't know what all of the collateral consequences are. Take pleas, one of the things that a judge has to do, he has to advise the defendant that he must understand the nature of the crime that's being committed and the consequences of his actions. And if he doesn't know the consequences and the judge doesn't know the consequences, there are going to be legal problems down the road.
Folks who have paid their debt to society in terms of being incarcerated and who have come home and face the myriad collateral sanctions that make it difficult for them to get on their feet and be productive.
We all know some of these things. We all know that if you are convicted of a felony, you lose the right to vote, you can't have a gun, you can't hold public office, you can't serve on a jury. We all know those things. But there are so many consequences out there that we don't know about. Consequences that can affect your job, your ability to get a license, your ability to find a place to live, your public benefits, potentially your parental rights. In Illinois, if you are convicted of a felony, it is a crime for you to be in possession of a puppy that's older than 12 weeks old that has not yet been spayed. Now, it may be that that isn't going to affect that many people, but who would know that? And it's a crime. And so these are the less serious examples, but there are so many that are so serious and that affect people. You can't be a hair cutter someplace, even after they've taught you to cut hair in the prison. It's a problem, and it's a problem because we don't even know what they are.
Ex-felons who have paid their debt to society have fallen victim to collateral consequences as a result of their conviction. Former prosecutor turned defense attorney Jerry Summers says collateral consequences are greatly affecting convicted felons.
You're talking about employment. You're talking about all kinds of government programs that up in or eliminate you from being considered to be included.
Programs like federal scholarships, public housing, and even certain federal health care benefits. Summer says more defense attorneys will start presenting collateral consequences to the court when their clients are offered plea deals as a way to show damages their clients may face even after incarceration.
But it's not just whether you give somebody probation or whether you give them a workhouse sentence or whether you make them go off to the penitentiary. That's not the end of it. There's going to be other consequences.
The report goes on to say people convicted of a crime have no hope of ever being able to fully discharge their debt to society. And if you think just because your record is expunged and no one will know about it, think again.
In Tennessee, the district attorney's office keeps a copy of a conviction of an expungement, a diversion, in order that they can make certain that a person only gets it one time.
So given what we've seen in that report, you're probably wondering what this means about our justice system. A definite problem for African Americans. According to the Uniform Law Commission, the negative effects of a criminal conviction is substantially larger for blacks than whites. Former convicted felon turned motivational speaker Charmaine Going says he understands why collateral consequences affects African Americans a lot harder than Caucasians.
Because we don't have that support, we don't have that knowledge, we don't have the people who are willing to give us a chance. Hey, you know, so it sticks out a little bit more than it would anybody else.
We like to say that, hey, in America, you pay your debt to society and we'll go and get another chance. However, in the present atmosphere, and I think that that's not really as true as it used to be.
After people pay a fine, and after they serve a jail or a prison sentence, and they think they've paid their dues, they actually face a lifetime punishment. And the lifetime punishment in many places is the collateral consequence of conviction. There are many, probably no one, I suspect, in any state could list them all without looking at our inventory. They get added to over time. A crime is committed and the legislature responds to it in a knee-jerk way by saying, let's prevent somebody who committed that crime from having this kind of job. And the end result is that it is very difficult for many returning citizens to find employment, to get decent housing, to finish their education. And what is the result of that? The result of that is too many return to crime.
Alright, now as we take a look at some of the consequences, this is a wide range of things and we're just going to go over 10 sections right here. So number one, employment consequences. Many employers conduct background checks, certain professions. Some states bar people from certain convictions from holding public office and government jobs. Like I said, some professions, law, healthcare, education, security, may be entirely off limits. Some restrictions may be permanent, while some last 5 to 10 years. We can move down here to the housing consequences. Convicted individuals may be ineligible for public housing, subsidized housing. Private landlords perform background checks. Some restrictions have permanent barriers, while others are 3 to 10. Educational consequences. Individuals with felonies may be ineligible for student loans, federal student loans, scholarships, and grants. Some schools may deny admission or participation in programs. Restrictions can apply to professional certifications or vocational programs that may be permanent for some convictions. Family and social consequences. Loss of parental rights. Restrictions on visitations rights in some cases. Social stigma and community exclusion may last long after sentence. Well, who cares about society? Voting and civic participation. Many states restrict voting rights for felons, sometimes permanently. Jury service may be prohibited or restricted. Some states impose restrictions on running for public office or holding certain civic positions. Immigration consequences. Non-citizens convicted of crimes may face deportation or denial of citizenship. Certain convictions can affect visa applications and entry into other countries. These consequences are often permanent, especially for serious felonies. Financial consequences. Difficult obtaining loans, credit, insurance, loss of professional license, and fines, court fees, and restitution obligations can create long-term financial strain. So yes, you do have to pay for going to jail. I know that's messed up. Your firearms. And weapons restrictions. Felons are usually prohibited from owning, purchasing, or possessing firearms. Some states allow restoration of gun rights after many years, but often it is permanent for serious convictions. Restrictions may also extend to other weapons and related permits. Professional license consequences. Criminal conviction can lead to a loss or denial of professional licenses, nursing, law, real estate, teaching. Some boards permanently bar individuals from holding licenses, while others are allowed reinstatement after a certain period of time. These restrictions can directly affect career or advancement in potential, or income potential, Military and service benefits. Convictions may make individuals ineligible for military enlistment or certain veteran benefits. Felony convictions may prevent access to government employment. Restrictions may remain. Alright. I think we get the point. And this is just these parts. This is not the whole 45,000. Alright, and some key points to take away. Collateral consequences are automatic. And they happen by law, not by court order. They are already going to happen. Alright? They often outlast the sentence themselves, meaning this will usually happen longer than your time you spent in prison. Some states do offer relief, expungement, or restoration of rights, but it does vary, so it's not guaranteed. Alright? Stay out of prison, because if you go, you get out, your life will never be the same. Alright, so please subscribe. Alright, and if you like the video, like it. And shout out to everybody, but definitely shout out my YMs the most. We out.